Hey everybody, welcome to the Plugable Performance Amazon Livestream.
Hello.
My name is David Quisenberry. I'm the process manager here for Plugable Performance. I'm joined by...
My name's Emily. I'm the graphic design lead here at Plugable and Plugable Performance, and we're really excited to be here today with you guys.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard about us before, Plugable Technologies is a consumer electronics company selling mainly on Amazon. Best known for USB 3.0, USB-C, Thunderbolt 3 docks that are best selling on Amazon, but we want you to get to know us for our performance line gaming products, which are newer to us, but our founder here has been great to enable kind of an office full of gamers actually pursue kind of what we're passionate about and bring these to you.
So we're going to be showing you our whole line of products today. We're really excited to give you descriptions and have the developers who are working on these products talk about them with you today. We will be able to answer all the questions that you guys have in the chat. So as you send them in, we'll be answering them on camera. And any questions that we don't get to, we'll be able to answer in the chat after the stream is over and on the product page for each individual product. And if you're wondering where you can find those product pages, they're going to be listed right underneath the video here today and also on our Plugable site on Amazon. So we're really excited. And at the end, we're going to be having an awesome new product announcement. So you'll have to tune in for that little exciting teaser. So be sure to keep watching straight through the end.
Yeah, that's going to be exclusive to you guys here on Amazon.
So to jump right into our product descriptions today, we're going to be starting first with our gaming mouse and our large gaming mouse pad, and David is going to give us an overview of the products.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, I was lucky enough to lead development on both of these products, the first being the PM3360 gaming mouse. Really our aim for this product and a lot of our kind of performance level items is to bring you the top tier tech and kind of not kill your wallet in the same process. So what this mouse offers is the top Pixart 3360 sensor. It's a sensor that's going to pick up every motion faster than you can move your hand. Unless you're Randy Johnson throwing fastballs, you're not going to be able to spin that mouse out. And also has some of the kind of the more favorable switches inside of it, Omron mechanical switches, really nice and crisp. The other product I'd like to present is the mouse pad, and what that is a large mouse pad. It's a microwave design that allows for fast motion. It's also easy to clean, throw it in the wash, or just wipe it off with a washcloth.
So for this segment, we are talking about the mouse and the mouse pad, so if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in that chat, but we have a few pre-prepared questions to talk about today. The first about the mouse. So a lot of mice that I see online have super high DPI. I'm wondering what the DPI is for this mouse.
Yeah, you'd be forgiven to think that DPI is kind of like the main kind of descriptor for how good a mouse is because it's painted on boxes everywhere and it seems to be like a main marketing tool. But really the DPI just tracks kind of how fast that cursor is going to move on the screen. A real kind of market for performance would be IPS, which is inches per second, which is how fast that mouse can track. And like I said, ours is the top sensor Pixart makes. It's going to track faster than you can even move your hand. But our mouse is technically 12,000 DPI capable, so it is really high. But I don't recommend ever trying to play at such a high DPI. It's not going to be a good experience.
Awesome. So another question I have is, do I need a special software to be using this mouse?
No, not at all. As our name says, Plugable, we really aim for a plug-and-play experience. That's true on all of our performance products. So you can plug it in and go no matter what you're using it on. If you're at a friend's house, you go to a gaming tournament if you're so lucky, just plug it in and go. It has preset DPIs already, so when you hit that button, it kind of flashes between them and gives you a different color to show off what DPI you're at so you can tell on the fly, but you don't need to install anything.
And so for our friends who are gaming on Mac computers, are they going to be able to use this mouse as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, Mac gamers, shout out. You can play with our mouse. So.
Awesome. One question from me. I have a couple of favorite colors out there in the world. Do we have any custom RGB settings coming to this mouse anytime soon?
Can't talk about that. Currently, no. They're really baked into it, but maybe. Stay tuned.
Well, you heard it here first, friends. Let's transition a bit to the mouse pad. First off, how big is the mouse pad?
It's defined as a large mouse pad, but that really varies from company to company. It's about 15 inches by 13 inches, so it is a real big surface. But for people who are used to playing first-person shooters at a low sensitivity, you really need that space so you don't hit the borders of your mouse pad.
Cool. So I bought a mouse pad a few years ago, just like at Staples. Why is the mouse pad that you're offering here today any better than the one that I just picked up? Absolutely.
So ours is defined kind of as a speed pad, so it's a really smooth operation. It's a very low friction, and it really depends on what a user wants. If you want a little more coarse, if you feel like that makes you more accurate or just feels better when using the mouse, go for that. If you like as little resistance as possible, our mouse pad is excellent for that. So it's kind of a customization thing, but also kind of like longevity in use. The mouse pad, cheap ones you pick up from a store generally don't have border stitching, so they're going to fray eventually. The materials they made out of are probably thinner or lower grade.
That's such a good point. Do you guys have a larger mouse pad in the works for our friends who want a really big mouse pad experience?
No, but if you want one, please reach out to us, mainly on Twitter. Let us know. We listen to our community and to hear kind of what you guys want. If we hear enough of that, then I think I can get something.
And we actually got a question on the stream here from a source asking if you're going to have any different colors or patterns of this mouse pad in the future.
No plans for it yet, but like I said, give us feedback. If that's something a lot of people really want, we'll probably do it.
Awesome. So that was a brief overview of the mouse and the mouse pad, and like we said, we love hearing your feedback. If you guys want to chat with us more about that, feel free to leave a comment or ask any questions. So we're going to make a little transition now up to talk about our mechanical keyboards. We have Josh, our senior product owner, who's going to be joining us here today. Come on down, Josh.
Hey, welcome, Josh.
How's it going, guys?
One of my favorite guys, because Josh really started this whole Plugable Performance thing. The keyboards he's going to talk about were the very first product we had in this line. So thank you, Josh.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we've got two different mechanical keyboards. One is a full-size mechanical keyboard with a numpad, and another keyboard we have is a little smaller where we chop the numpad off. A lot of people, especially gamers, like to have a little more space for their mouse to the right of the keyboard, and they don't need that numpad.
So you do the keyboard, but you're also senior product owner. So what is that product owner role?
Yeah, so at Plugable, we work a little differently than other companies. So from kind of thinking up a product, researching the product and developing it, all the way through supporting the product, I kind of do that whole process. So if anyone ever has a problem with one of our products, say they buy a keyboard and have an issue, when they contact us, they'll be speaking to an engineer like myself to resolve the problem as quickly and painlessly as possible.
And I don't know anybody else will notice, but I noticed your Top Fact t-shirt.
Yes.
Are you in the mechanical keyboard community?
I definitely am, yes. I am a keyboard enthusiast with all different mechanical keyboards, and I kind of used that background to help design ours.
Do you have any idea how many custom keyboards you've made?
Too many.
Oh my God, so many that you show us all day.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into some questions. First, for those of us that aren't really familiar with mechanical keyboards, what is the difference between a mechanical keyboard and something I could just pick up at an office supply store?
Yeah, so big differences between a mechanical keyboard and say like a rubber dome keyboard that you'll find at Staples or any office store, for say under $20. Those keyboards, you might feel as when you're using them that they feel kind of lifeless or mushy, maybe not great response. Where a mechanical keyboard, they come in all different types and sizes. Our keyboards have a really nice clicky mechanical switch, so it has a nice sound and a nice feel and really quick reaction times.
So we actually got a question on the live stream here. Somebody's asking, how critical is it to have like a specialized mouse or a specialized keyboard for gaming?
It kind of depends on the level of gaming you do, but if you're getting into competitive gaming, if you're doing any Twitch streaming, I think it's important to have a really solid mouse and keyboard that'll give you an edge, especially in competitive games.
And both you got to be careful with. One of the main reasons when I was interested in doing the mouse is because at that low price point, you see a lot of mice that are they're really just dressed up office mice, and the big thing you lack there is the sensor. I talked a little bit about the inches per second and making sure it doesn't spin out. Spin out's a term when you actually move your mouse too fast, and either it stops tracking accurately or completely stops tracking altogether. So if you were in that situation where you had your old school unnamed branded mouse that would cost you $10 at Staples, it's probably not going to do it for you at some level.
Yeah, and a big thing with the mechanical keyboards is, especially for gamers, our keyboards, you can press multiple keys at the same time and the computer will register them, where a lot of inexpensive rubber dome keyboards, you can only press maybe a couple keys together and then it'll just ignore the rest.
Awesome. So another question, I know that a lot of gamers like to customize their keyboards. Do we have the ability on this keyboard to change the keycaps out, and do we offer any other keycaps?
Sure. At this time, Plugable doesn't offer any other keycaps, but our keyboards use standard Cherry MX style keycaps that you can find on all sorts of online retailers, Amazon, eBay, sites like that, and you can go with different colors or maybe different types of keycaps, different material for different feel.
Awesome. Another question from the stream for kind of both of you guys again. Can we change the light settings on the keyboard or on the mouse?
Yeah, so for the keyboard, it has all white backlighting. You can turn it off, you can adjust the brightness level, and you can also set it to kind of a breathing mode where it fades in and out.
Ooh, cool, that's awesome.
Yeah, an important feature for me was actually turning those lights in general. I'm not one of those that's all for the RGB or lights in general. So if you want to turn them off, there's actually a switch on the bottom. You can have 3 different levels of those lights being on or all the way off. And of course, the LED color is all about your DPI, so you know what level you're on without having to just keep switching between it and testing how fast the mouse is moving.
Awesome, yeah, and if you guys want to check out some of those details in action, you can totally click the product pages at the bottom of this video to see all the images that we have lined up for you guys. So it looks like we have come to the end of the questions for the mechanical keyboard. Again, if you have more, keep sending them. We'll get to them at the end of the video. Thanks so much for
you're
talking
welcome,
to
guys.
us about that
thanks,
keyboard.
Josh.
It was
No problem.
awesome.
And we will make sure he's the one to answer those questions, like he answers all those tickets for people that have an issue with
Josh
it.
is the guy you'll be talking to.
Yeah.
So we'll do another transition here. We're going to have David again answering some questions about our Vox condenser microphone. So give us a little overview about what this microphone's all about.
Sure. So we call it the USB-VOX, and what it is a cardioid condenser microphone. Really, it's purpose-built to pick up kind of like your voice and audio. It's not designed for music or anything like that. So what you get is a recording pattern that'll pick up noise directly in front of it really clear, and it'll kind of fade out all the way to the back of it, kind of a recording pattern like a heart. So what that helps with is for someone who's, say, streaming a game, when you're clicking your mouse in the background, especially with a clicky mechanical keyboard, it will pick that up far less. Or if somebody even just doing a podcast and doing as simple as maybe nervous tapping their pen or putting a glass down, it won't pick that up nearly as much.
Awesome. So I know that a lot of streamers and gamers like to use Yeti microphones, and I'm curious, and I'm sure you guys are, why is the Vox going to be better than a Yeti?
It's a really common question because that's really kind of like the measuring stick for people, and the brand people know, and it's a great mic, the Yeti. What it does have is a ton of recording patterns, a ton of options. But the problem along with that is a lot of people just put it in that side record pattern, which our USB-VOX is, and they leave it there, and they never use any of those features that they paid for. So if you're looking for that side addressable pickup pattern, then ours is a great deal. It's far less.
So when you say side addressable, you're meaning?
It'll pick up noise right in front of it. It's just designed to pick up that noise in front.
Awesome. So it seems really well suited for people who are going to be talking at the mic and just sort of directing sound in that way.
Yeah, unlike an omnidirectional mic, which it would pick up noise all around it.
Awesome. And so if we're talking about, only picking up sound in front, what kind of range of sounds can it pick up? Things like my voice and like different sounds going on in my mouth, or what's up with that?
Depends how close it is, but let's say you are doing a podcast or a stream and you didn't have a noise gate set up, it definitely is going to catch your breathing and any little noises you make, because it is really sensitive. So it's important to set up a noise gate, which is basically saying if a noise isn't at least this decibel level, do not record it or pass it through. So you definitely need to do that because it's a very sensitive mic.
And so if I do want to set up a noise gate or maybe add some accessories, is this Vox microphone going to be compatible with things that I might find at Amazon or at an audio supply store?
Yeah, on the software side, like for noise gate, it's a USB connect, and like the rest of our products, it's plug and play. So you just plug it in and it's a recording device, and it just shows up like that. So it'll work with anything that uses a generic recording device. And on the hardware side, let's say you wanted a pop filter, many of them connect to the stand. So if you go and buy an arm, which is a great investment to make, there's a lot of real cheap ones on Amazon. If you pick one of those up, any of those will work. And also the standard barrel type that sleeve over, it'll work with those also.
Awesome. So I'm really starting to see a theme here. These products are all really specifically geared towards gaming, obviously, because we're the Plugable Performance line. So it's really great to actually understand why they're good for gamers. So we're going to transition now. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of the stream, we have a new product. First look, you've heard it here first, everybody. We're going to have Andy, our product owner, who led the development for this new product, come here and share this awesome new product with us. Andy, do you want to tell us what this new product is? Andy?
Are you playing Fortnite on the
Can you?
Switch?
We're live, Andy. Hello?
Do you want to talk about your product?
I guess I should. So it's actually really cool. Very recently, Nintendo decided that 3.5 millimeter headsets, like the one we're working on, will actually work with the Nintendo Switch. So
Good job.
Awesome. So you said a 3.5 millimeter headset. Give me an overview. What exactly is this new product?
sure. So this is our new gaming headset, and we're calling it the HS53 for the 53 millimeter dynamic drivers that are in each ear cup. and it's going to have a 3.5 millimeter connection system. So you'll be able to plug it into game consoles, PCs, pretty much any standard device with a headphone jack on it.
Awesome. And so that cable that you have there doesn't have a mic. Do we also have a version with a microphone on it?
Yeah, so the headset does have a microphone. I'll just go ahead and pull that out real quick.
There it is.
Yeah, so this connector is a TRRS connector, which means it has both headphone channels and the microphone channel built into it. So that's great for like a PS4 or an Xbox One. But then we also have another cable that will extend this several feet longer, and it will connect two TRS connections, which is basically just a separate connection for a headphone and a microphone. So you can reach all the way to the back of your PC and plug it in if you need to.
Awesome, that sounds great. And like you said, it was compatible with things like the Switch and other types of devices, right?
Correct.
Awesome. So to ask another question, I see a lot of headsets online talking about surround sound and 7.1 channel and 5 channel and all that kind of stuff. Can you give me an overview of what our headset can do and maybe why that's the best choice?
Yeah, so this headset in particular is just going to give you a clean stereo signal from whatever your sound source is. A lot of headsets with virtual 7.1 or 5.1 surround sound are going to use some sound processing through a USB connection. And personally, I'm not too much of a fan of that because it sort of manipulates the sound that's coming from a game. So it tries to push the soundstage out. It maybe accentuates certain parts of the sound spectrum. But really, game designers, when they're making games, they already take into account things like how fast a gunshot sound should hit each of your ears when you're wearing a headphone. So you don't necessarily need that virtual surround sound system. Really, if you want it the way the designer intended, you should go with just a regular stereo connection.
So when you say virtual, you mean that there's going to be a computer kind of adding in sounds that weren't there already?
Yeah, it's going to try and basically use psychoacoustics to calculate how sound is supposed to go into each ear. But again, like game designers are already taking that into account with the regular stereo.
And they probably know what they're doing. So.
Generally.
So when we talk about the development for this headset, you had a lot of custom input and a lot of different ideas. What was your inspiration behind the development?
Really, I mean, I've had a lot of headsets over the years. I've used a lot of different headphones, and I'm familiar with the way that different headsets have broken over time or necessarily didn't live up to what I was expecting out of a headset. And I really wanted to make up for some of those shortcomings. Like, for example, I've had microphones that when I moved them, they didn't stay in position. So this one, like, you move it and it stays pretty much exactly where you put it. And then other things like making sure we had a microphone switch that wasn't easy to accidentally activate, inline volume control through an extra adapter that's included with it. Yeah, just things like that.
Awesome. So a lot of headsets that I see are very bright and colorful and lots of sharp things sticking out. What was your inspiration behind kind of the color scheme and the materials of our headset?
Sure. So I'm a big fan of being able to have something that you can use in a lot of different ways. And this headset's a little more understated, which is nice because you could potentially use it when you're at the office or if you're commuting, really anywhere that you would just need a standard pair of headphones. You can tuck the microphone away really nicely inside of it. Another thing is it's really comfortable. We went ahead and put in memory foam in the ear pads. That way it's nice and squishy when you put it on.
Awesome. Yeah. Sometimes I get a headache when I listen to headphones for too long. So.
Yeah, and a lot of manufacturers, they sort of cheap out on it. Like they'll put a less dense foam in there and like you wear it a little bit and then the foam just sort of collapses and it gets to be kind of sad.
Yeah. Hopefully this one is not going to be sad.
Oh, no.
So this is a new product on the horizon for us. Can you give us an estimate of when you think we'll be able to get our hands on it?
I don't necessarily want to commit to anything because I want it to be when it's ready. But we're hoping to have it really soon. And this video might be posted online later, so it might even just be out by the time you're seeing this.
It might be down there. If it's down there, it's out. It's for sale.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that was a really great first look. We're so happy to have announced this product on the live stream. We're happy to have you here to have talked about it with us today. So yeah, we're going to transition into some other audience questions that we may or may not have, but thanks so much for joining us and chatting with us. And any questions that you have about the headset in the future, if you do get your hands on it, Andy's going to be the one who's answering them. Again, all of our product owners are going to be answering your questions directly. That's how Plugable does our business.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Andy. Good job.
All right.
Yeah, it's a really unique way that we do support here, and it's something I really want to highlight because it's not something a lot of people get anymore. Usually you have to either do an online chat on somebody's site, or maybe you do send an email, but then 3 different people are emailing you back as they try to get to the expert. We send you to the expert right away, and you're going to be able to kind of resolve your issue with that same person you started that communication with.
Another thing I wanted to mention, just as much as we're real human beings doing real things at this office, we also have Plugable Performance partners who use our products in their live streams. So if you ever want to see any of our gear in action, feel free to go watch our partner streams and check out how the Vox microphone and the mouse and all those kinds of things are going to be working out. So it looks like we don't have any immediate questions right now, so I think we're going to be wrapping it up with you guys today. But if you do have any other things you want to ask us, feel free again to drop a question in the chat. We'll be here around until the end of the day answering questions, and all the information we talked about today is on our product pages for every product listed down below, and on our Plugable Performance website and page.
Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that headset news. If you want, you can sign up to hear exactly when it's coming out if it's not out right now. And also pay attention to us. Our performance Twitter is at Plugable Gaming. Reach out to us on there. We watch it. I watch it. We interact with you. We want your ideas because that's what we're trying to do, make products for you, not ourselves.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. It was really great chatting with you today.
Thank you.